Hey guys, time for a new Q&A. I put out a video a couple days ago asking for questions and a little update on how things are going with the new album and that sort of thing. So I figured I'd take some questions and answer a few of them for those who had them. So I'm just going to jump into it. First one is for the ever lovely Hank Hill, and he's asking what my favorite gun is in Modern Warfare. And some of you may or may not know, I've been really big into the Modern Warfare remastered game that came out with the new Call of Duty game. Modern Warfare 1 was a huge game for me when it first came out, and I'm super happy that it's out again. Love that game. Anyway, my favorite gun... I have favorites. I don't know if I have a favorite gun. For a long time, after Modern Warfare 1 had come and gone, I always said that my favorite was probably the G36C, which is a assault rifle that you get kind of later on. I think you unlock it around like level 40 or something, or late 30s. And it's just a really great accurate gun, but it's not very powerful, and I don't always do that well with it. I do really like the AK-47 a lot. I use that a lot, and when I was big into it, 9 years ago, it was definitely my most used gun because I had a golden version of it in that game, and I played the hell out of it, and I was always just using my gold AK because I wanted to show off. But yeah, that one was really great. I do like sniping a lot. I do use the first sniper rifle, the M40A3, I think it's called. I don't know. I could be wrong. But that first bolt action is really good. I don't really do that well with submachine guns. I like to have some range because I like to pick people off pretty far away. But anyway, I would probably say my favorite is the AK-47 overall. Next question from Siavash says, have you ever made a 335 guitar, Epiphone, or Gibson based off of Tom DeLonge's in Boxcar Racer? And if not, would I ever consider? I never have, and it wouldn't be that hard to do a basic version of it, but trying to recreate all those stickers would be kind of a nightmare. It wouldn't be that hard to just get a Gibson hollow body. It would be kind of hard to find a 333, which is exactly what he used. It's kind of a stripped down version of the 335. And what's nice about the 333 is it had an access panel on the back of the guitar, which the 335 does not. It makes changing out pickups and stuff like that a lot easier. So you could find one of those, just make a single volume knob, and then just the Seymour Duncan Invader in the bridge. But I've tried an Invader in a 335, and it just did not sound good at all. By the way, if you start hearing any noise from over here, that's the cat. He's hanging out on the chair next to me trying to sleep, and I think I'm keeping him awake. Next question. JSA Productions asks, have I ever listened to a band called Local Resident Failure? Here's a link to one of their songs. I listened to it when you had posted it. I'd never heard of them before that. It sounded all right, but it's just not the sort of music I've really been listening to lately. And is there any chance you'll do a tutorial for Bada Bing with a pipe, or Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Hell from 4 Year Strong? I've said this before, not to kind of sound like an asshole or anything, but I have a hard time getting motivated to do a lesson video for a song. I don't mind doing those easy Blink songs that I've played 1,000 times. I could tell you how to play it backwards and forwards and whatever. But for the most part, lessons just are really not enjoyable for me to do, and I don't know. I prefer to work on other things these days. Even covers these days, it's kind of hard for me to find the time to do it. So I'm just trying to do the things that I really prefer to do, and put in the extra time to do things that are better. I mean, I know a lot of people do appreciate those lessons, and you know, I'm glad they help you guys out for the ones that I do. But these days, lesson videos just aren't really in my forecast anyway. I got another person asking, what do I think about the Vox AC30? I get a question about that probably every time I do a Q&A. It looks like a nice amp. It doesn't look like the best amp for, you know, high gains, that sort of stuff. But you could always put a pedal or something in front of it. I do hear that it's really good for the cleans and like the crunchy sort of British tones. But like I said, I've never used one. Mark says I should get Titanfall 2 if I can. It's amazing. I'm just not really into those futuristic shooter kind of games lately. You know, the last sort of game like that I was really into was Halo, but even the last few Halos I haven't really been into. I don't know, the last Halo I really liked was Reach, and that was the last one that Bungie did. But yeah, I'm just not really into it. Titanfall 1 didn't really look that interesting, and excuse me, even these days it's hard enough to find time to play Modern Warfare 1 as it is, you know, between balancing writing music and all this other stuff. So I really just don't have the time to dedicate to a lot of different games. So plus I just haven't really heard that much about Titanfall 2 anyway. But I just don't really think I'd get into it right now. Next question. How many guitars have you had in total? I have seen so many in your videos. Yeah, the past couple years I've definitely gone through a lot of different ones. Just trying different things, getting an idea for different things, you know, seeing what I like, seeing what I don't like. I don't have a concrete number for you, but it's probably around 60 or 70 since I started playing. I had a list at one point that was at like 40 or 50, and that was a while ago. So yeah, it's definitely gone up there. Ryan asks, if you could get any guitar back you previously owned, which would you pick? I mean, if you asked me a couple of years ago, I would probably say the Gibson Explorer that I had. It was a white one. It had EMGs in it. It was a great metal guitar, and even before it had those pickups in it, it was just a really great feeling guitar. It was very comfortable, surprisingly, and it just had a really good tone to it, and just a good feel overall. I ended up selling it. But I don't remember exactly why. I'm pretty sure I just wanted a Les Paul again at the time, so I had sold that. But I don't know. These days, I look at everything as just sort of a lesson. You know, sure, I'll get attached to certain guitars at certain times, but there's always a way to get another guitar back, you know, for the most part anyway. There's always going to be a special guitar every now and then, like my PRS back here. I know if I sold that, the chances of me finding another one like that are very, very slim, unless I did like a custom private stock version, which would cost me like $9,000 or more. So for the most part, I mean, those cheaper guitars or the more like production line guitars, I used to have some attachment to them early on, but these days I don't really have that attachment, just because I know I could find a way to get them back if I really, really wanted it. You know, any of the Tom DeLonge Strats that I've had numerous ones of those. I've had Gibson Les Pauls. I've had, you know, a couple Jackson guitars, other Gibson guitars. You know, and a few others. You know, I've gone through quite a few. I don't know. I do think these days I would appreciate the Les Paul Custom a bit more than I did at the time. I had a hard time really getting into that guitar as much as I'd liked the idea of having one. I feel like I would appreciate it more now than how I did when I first had it, because at that point I really just wanted to keep putting together like Tom DeLonge type builds and selling them, you know, making new ones, selling them, that sort of thing, just to mess around with different projects and stuff. So that was kind of like a $2,000 or $3,000 guitar just burning a hole in my pocket, realizing it wasn't getting used to its potential. So I sold it to mess around with the things that I really liked at the time. So I don't know. Let me just make sure this video is still going. All right, still going. So yeah, right now, if I could pick any guitar to have back, I really don't know. You know what was a cool guitar was that yellow baritone Strat that I had. That was a really cool guitar. I wouldn't mind just having a baritone guitar in general, but not necessarily that one. Next question. This guy says, can't wait to hear the new album. Keep working on it. Yep. It's coming along good. You know, I got maybe 6 or 7 songs done, recorded and tracked so far, so it's coming together. Alexander asked, do you think about making music your full-time job with the main income? You know, ideally that would be amazing, but I just do not even consider it a possibility these days. Maybe if I was able to churn them out a little easier, and maybe if I wasn't such a perfectionist. I mean, not that I think my songs are perfect, but it takes a long time for me to really accept how they are and to be really satisfied with them. So that's why an album takes me a year to make. You know, it's not something I can just churn out in a couple weeks. You know, I wish it were that easy for me, but I just want more, you know. Moon is My Witness says, when you write music, do you ever think you will ever write lyrics for a song or be in a band where that will happen? I used to write lyrics for my stuff all the time, and basically all my Little Chaos stuff, the stuff that I wrote, you know, 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, around that time, a lot of that was intended to have singers, and I wrote lyrics for a lot of that stuff. I mean, most of my shit that I wrote back then was just garbage and really emo and kind of lame, but yeah, I mean, I did intend for that sort of thing to happen, and I've been in bands before, but they never ever get off the ground, and I just kind of got tired of it, and I just wanted to do my own thing to actually get something out there, and that's what happened with Terrible But Great. And I was so happy with the way that turned out that I just immediately started working on the second one because I just wanted more, and I wanted a more adventurous album. I wanted something a little more, what's the word? I don't know. But I also just wanted more of a catalog out there. I want to get more of my songs out there, and I want to get just more feedback from you guys, and I just want to play music, you know? I just love recording music. I don't necessarily want to be the type of guy that is in a band and is touring and going all over the world. I mean, if that opportunity happened, would I turn it down? Not necessarily. Would I jump at it? Not necessarily. You know, it really depended on the situation. So, I don't know. I just like writing music. And I like instrumental music a lot. So, a lot of my stuff these days especially has no intention for singers. I mean, that might change in the future, but you never know. Tyson says, what could we expect from the new album as far as what it will sound like? Well, I actually got a track listing right here. I'm not going to show it to you guys, but I can just kind of go through some of the songs a little bit. One of the songs, I'm not really going in order either, but one of the songs starts off kind of slow, and then it goes really fast. It goes like... So that's one song. Definitely like a fast pop punk sort of riff. I got another one that is a little riffy. It's it's got some parts that are similar to Haste from my last album, with certain chords, and but it's not necessarily full of like melodies either. So it's got like some more riffiness to it and more just rhythmic sort of sounds. That one's cool. That one's gonna have a guest guitar solo on it too, and that one's gonna be really cool. That one kind of sounds like. Next song is quite possibly my favorite on the album so far. It's a slower song. It originally started to be an acoustic song. It was intended to be an acoustic song, but I just one day just got this great tone out of one of my guitars with just sort of a very slightly gritty sound, and it just sounded perfect, and it goes like this. So that's the main rhythm of that one. I really can't wait to show you guys that one. I'm really happy with that. Next one is another sort of faster, not super fast, but it's kind of faster, upbeat pop punk sort of thing. It goes like this. It has a capo on it, so I wanted to do something just a little different. You know, I didn't want everything to be in the same exact tuning. But I don't want to show you just the whole song or anything, but I just want to show you maybe a quick lick. How the fuck does it go? I've done so much with all these different songs, I'm kind of blanking. Fuck. So that one's got, you know, kind of a faster upbeat vibe to it. I like that one a lot. Next song is actually a song that I showed off a couple videos ago on YouTube. I don't remember what the name of the video was. Let me see. Oh, it was just I'm writing a new album. That was it. So you can go and check that one out if you want. Another one I know I've shown off before. It just goes like this. And it kind of keeps going like that. It's just like a acoustic interlude sort of song, which is pretty cool. Next song is the song I was working on with my 12 string, which was the one that I posted a little while ago, just a quick version of it. The video was called New Acoustic Idea 7-30-16. So that was a couple months ago I posted that one. Another song is kind of slower, and that one has a lot going on. It's like over 7 minutes long. It's definitely the longest song on the album. It actually uses a riff that maybe not a riff, but you know, it uses something that I wrote like over 10 years ago. It's pretty cool. So that one, like I said, is a little slower. It's got a lot of acoustic in it, but it's got some electric stuff in it too. So it's going to be kind of a blend of both of those. And the last song technically isn't written yet, but what I wanted to do was, instead of writing a song with a rhythm section, sending it over to Grant for drums, like I did on the last album and like I did with all the other songs, what I had him do was just write a drum track and to send it to me, and I write all the guitars for it. So he sent me that a couple weeks ago, and I'm still kind of fucking around with it. So I don't really have anything tentative to really show you, because I'm kind of changing the ideas all around. But it's really cool. The rhythms are really different, and it definitely is going to feel different to a lot of the other songs in the album, just rhythmically anyway. So that's basically it. That's the whole album. So there's, the pop punk sort of stuff. There's some slower acoustic stuff. There's kind of an upbeat 12-string song, some more middle tempo, riffy sort of songs. It's got a little bit of everything. Let's see. Tiger Blood O'Neill says, "What's my favorite game mode on Modern Warfare Remastered?" Basically, ever since I started playing Call of Duty in general, I've usually stuck to the same few game types. I do a lot of team deathmatch. If I just want nothing special, I just want to shoot, whatever. If I want to do something a little extra, I'll do domination. I like domination a lot. Basically, just because you know where they're going to spawn. You know the sort of areas to worry about. You don't have to worry about somebody always being right behind you, I do like search and destroy a lot. But I have to be in the right zone. I got to be in the right mood to play that one. But lately I've been sticking to domination. Ryan asks if I'm planning to go to the Rise or Die Trying 10-year tour. That actually just went through like a couple days ago. And honestly, I had just heard about it like a couple days before that. And I didn't have the time, for one. And two, I wouldn't have gone even if I had the time. I just haven't really wanted to see them again, Especially, with Good Charlotte. Like, who gives a fuck about Good Charlotte these days? I don't know. I just wasn't really into the idea at the time. What was my first guitar? It was a Squier Affinity Strat in Baltic Blue. What are my thoughts on Donald Trump becoming our president? I wasn't happy about it, but I wasn't necessarily surprised about it. I knew it was going to be a close one. And, it's going to be interesting. I'm more interested to see if he's going to get a second term out of it, There's been so many presidents lately that have done 2-year terms. I feel like people are just kind of voting somebody back in just because they know what to expect from them rather than chancing it on somebody new. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I don't trust him at all, but, we'll see. Shane Berger asks if I play, or did I play Titanfall? No, I already answered that one. Or Battlefield 1. I haven't played Battlefield 1, but it looks great. And to be honest, if it came out at a time where another game of mine wasn't out, I would have bought it. Modern Warfare came out like 2 weeks after it, and I wasn't going to bother dropping $60 on it just to switch to Call of Duty when it came out. It looks great. I watched a couple friends play it. It looks beautiful, and Battlefield's great. I do like it. I'm not like one of those guys that is totally Call of Duty or totally Battlefield. I think they're both cool games, but yeah, I just don't have the time to really devote to so many different games all at once. Let's see. Joel says, I just got my first guitar, a Gretsch 5103, and I played through my Fender amp. What was your first guitar amp combo? First one was the Squier Affinity Strat, and I had a Squier amp. It came like a little combo pack. It sounded awful. Mr. Chipsident, all right, says, what are the best Seymour Duncan and or bare knuckle pickups that suit a PRS the most? I have an SE Custom 22. Your PRS looks awesome, by the way. My PRS is awesome. Thank you. This is something that a lot of people do, but a lot of people ask me what I think about for pickups for guitars, and they don't tell me what they want to play or what style they plan on playing. So, it's kind of hard for me to answer, but I will say that my bare knuckle Juggernauts fit in that guitar very well. I would definitely recommend them. I hear good things about the Mules in PRSs, but that's more of a lower output, sort of classic rock sort of sound. As for Seymour Duncans, I don't think I've ever used a Seymour Duncan set in my PRSs, so I can't really comment there. I prefer bare knuckle over Seymour Duncan anyway. Excuse me. Yeah, I would think, the Juggernauts would sound really good. I would check out the Crawler too. I bet the Crawler would sound really good in there. And I'm guessing this is the last question here. Vector asked if I've ever considered doing another blindfold guitar challenge. I would definitely do one if you guys wanted me to. I haven't really thought about those in a while. I used to do them ages ago, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of people thought I was faking or just thought I was just being an asshole. But I mean, if you guys had a suggestion or really wanted me to do one, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll consider it. So that's it. I don't have any other questions on here. I don't believe. If I missed you, sorry. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys check out the new album when it comes out. I don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but I'm hoping early 2017. I don't see it taking much longer than that. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff done, and out of the 9 songs that I have, 7 are either almost done or done. So it really is just up to me chugging along and getting that last couple things done. So appreciate you guys watching, and if you have any other questions, leave them below. I'll try to answer them when I get a minute, and hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys later.